Houston at Denver, Sunday NFL. Who do you like and why?
Lined open pick 'em. It's now as high as Houston, too. I think that's the right move. I like the road favorite here. I was hoping, because of the fact Houston gets absolutely no respect from the betting market, not much respect from the odds makers yet either, but obviously they get respect from the wise guys who know, like I do, they're probably the best team in the NFL, at least in the AFC.
All right, so I'm going to question this whole non-respect even at the pick-em number. So Denver entering the first game of the year against Pittsburgh was a small favorite at home. Okay, so they're saying that it was less than 3, more than pick-em, so they're saying a little worse than the Steelers, all right, because that's why it's less than 3 as a home team. Now, they beat Pittsburgh, exceeded expectation. Then they went and fell short of expectation against the Falcons. I think most people's power rankings on the Broncos is probably even after 2 games from where it was preseason. All right, agreed?
Agreed.
All right, so now Pittsburgh is +2 against the Broncos, and Houston is -2. So all of a sudden, now 0, the tick from 1/2 to 0 to 1/2 happens a lot, or I'm sorry, from 1 to 0 to 1 means that there's about a point where it's not really 4 points from 2 to 2, it's really 3. But still, a 3-point move, or not a 3-point move, but a 3-point difference between the Steelers and Houston. Houston's 3 points better than Pittsburgh now?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Where they are right now, yeah, how the team's
so Houston's
today.
Houston's -6 at home against Pittsburgh.
7. Should be 7 the way they are right now. With the health of the Pittsburgh Steelers. With the help of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
But here's the thing. Let's not get too detailed with that. But I guess what I'm saying is I don't see how at this – I would have thought this number would have been value. If Denver's 1.5 here, you might say there's value. I mean, what should this number
Denver
be?
1.5, I'd have to go with a ski mask. I'd go to the book because I'd feel like I'm stealing.
So what's your true number? Defining a true number as what's going to split the result of the game, 50 for the dog, 50 for the favorite. What's your true number on this game?
Houston -3 minus $1.20. So you're getting Denver at a dog and even money at +3, that key number.
All right, so
call me crazy.
Speak up, talk loud, and tell me why.
Here's why. Here's why this team's getting no respect. When you hear the AFC, what do you hear? You hear New England Patriots. You hear the Pittsburgh Steelers. You hear the Baltimore Ravens. You even hear Denver Broncos before you hear Houston Texans.
But that's the thing. If you hear Denver before, that means Denver should be 3.5. No, being better than Houston.
I'm saying they're talking about them.
But what does it mean if it's not in the line? I mean, that's the thing. The whole idea of a team being overrated should show in the line.
It did by opening it a pick 'em.
But we're not betting it a pick 'em now.
Now we're laying 2, and it's still not enough.
You can pass this game if you want.
No, and it's still not enough.
All right, but don't tell me Denver's being talked about more when they're saying that right now this line
says the season Peyton Manning. They were talking about them more than they were talking about Houston.
But I'm saying right now, we've got the line. We're not guessing what the line is going to be. If we were talking on Sunday night and there's no, or Sunday afternoon, there's no line, and you tell me, okay, if this baby comes out Denver favorite, I'm going to love the dog here. I can accept that. But right now, we've got a team that we're saying is 4 points better. All right, so if these were even teams, Denver would be 3 points at home. Right?
Right.
All right. So, again, we're talking about the 0. So from 3 all the way to 2 the other way is about a 4-point move. Mm-hmm. So we're saying that this Houston team is 4 points better than Denver. And you still think they're underrated.
Correct. Especially with the situation.
Do you think,
situation, you have to have for this. We can't just talk raw power rating.
Right, that's true.
That's just the foundation.
Absolutely. Great point. What are the situations that push us to Houston?
Denver, number 1, had to play the Pittsburgh Steelers to start off the season on primetime television. You got to get up for that game. They got up for it. They won it. Last night, they played the Atlanta Falcons, Monday Night Football, primetime. You got to get up for that game as well. More importantly, the way the game went, they had to exert so much energy because they were coming back from behind. They almost had a chance to win that game. So it's not as if they just didn't give effort after halftime, even though they were down. You look at the Houston side of it, this is the game they've had circled. Kubiak gets to go back to Denver. And in week 1 and 2, they played nobodies. Houston didn't even get up for those teams, and they blew them away. This Houston team, people forget, was 10-3 last year. And then what happened? They they got into the playoffs for the first time in franchise history, lost their first and second string quarterback, and happened to lose the final 3 games of the season because no one cared. They already clinched.
Houston has covered 12 of 14.
Yep.
I agree with you. I'm just wondering if the line's catching up. Give us your final thoughts before making it official.
They're better on both sides of the football. That's just the bottom line. Here's a defense that went.
They better be if they're laying points on the road.
They went from 30th in yards allowed to 2nd in yards allowed. That's what Wade Phillips did for this defense. There's no reason that's going to regress. They have the same guys back more or less. And then on offense, now you got a healthy quarterback who threw for 4,000 yards in back-to-back seasons. You got 2 of the best running backs in all football. You got a wide receiving core that's stacked, and they went out and used a 3rd and 4th round draft choice on wide receiver. So this offense is loaded. This defense is loaded. I'm telling you, by the end of the season, this will probably be the best team in all football.
You know, the part that's convinced me that this isn't necessarily a bad play is the situational element. Good point about having to come back on Monday night, 2 big games. Now you got a 3rd game. But the idea that they're underrated right now, I don't think it's
because
not in the numbers.
With them favored, I hear you.
All right, we've talked it out. Let's make it official.
Houston at Denver. Now it's high as a 2-point favorite. You're probably going to have to get on it before it gets to that key number of 3. I think Houston, RJ made some points, not really undervalued as much as I thought, but in this matchup, they have a lot of edges. Denver coming off 2 huge games, 2 huge primetime games. Don't forget, head coach Kubiak is going back to Denver, and he's going to really want to beat this team.
Well, I tell you, another point, though, too, is the moves are going through dead numbers. And all half points are not created equal. You make the good point about 3. You actually think it's going to get there?
I
potentially?
Yeah, and then when because the public's going to, I believe the betting public's going to like the Denver side as a home dog at home. I think that's what's going to stop it because we know public money outweighs sharp money.
In the NFL.
Exactly.
All right, guys. We've done a lot of videos, but we got even more NFL to come and Monday Night Football. You can get them all at pregame.tv.